So was Thriller Bark a good arc?
Yes.
Hey, so I know I said I'd never just want my channel to just be one thing.
I lied.
I know. I did try a Fortnite video. It sucked balls though because the recording was ass. But like I said before, I do have bigger projects on the way. Hopefully, those turn out pretty well. In the meantime, enjoy this. I'd like to start this off by saying that Thriller Bark does do stuff well. I love some of the character designs and powers, except for that fucking ghost bitch. Like, Dr. Hogback was cool, and the whole philosophy battle he had with Chopper, that was entertaining as fuck to watch. I enjoyed that part of the arc. But what really dragged it on for me was we had about 3 episodes straight of Nami fucking showering and that invisible dude perving. And like, that was almost funny in the first episode, but then it went on and on. It was just such a weird arc in general and took such a different tone from the rest of One Piece. Now normally there is silliness, but this whole arc felt like it was built on silliness. Everything from the character design of this fucking onion of a man to the just ridiculous fights that they had later on. And again, it wasn't all bad, but it just felt so different from the rest of One Piece. Personally, I feel like it feels like a Scooby-Doo episode, and I think that this one clip alone proves that. It felt like the difference between a filler and an actual canon episode of Naruto. Like, it just feels so different and unconnected to the rest of the story. And like I said before, there are positives. We met Brooke in this arc, that was cool. Frankie cranked some 90s, that was cool, I guess. But overall, it just felt so different. I really did like the first part of this arc, that they were setting up to have it be some sort of moral dilemma between Chopper and Dr. Hogback involving all the zombies. That was cool. Vivi, or whatever the fuck that chick's name was that hates plates, that was cool. I love the moral battles that they had between resurrecting the dead. That was cool. But then it's almost like it was a side plot to this major motherfucker who just wanted to run around with a big ass zombie. Like, that was cool, and you know, the fight wasn't awful, but that's what made it feel so weird, is that this cool plot about zombies resurrecting the dead took a back seat to this random bullshit that was just going on. This guy looks fucking sick. He's got like a mouth stitched on. That's cool. But let's talk about this fat fuck Gecko Moria for a second. I made a point in a video quite a while ago that it makes sense that some of the characters look weird because of their devil fruits, but some of these motherfuckers have no excuse. This guy's devil fruit is a shadow stealer. That's cool as shit. I like that ability. He can steal people's shadows and he can use his. That's cool. He's the Shadow King. But why the fuck does he look like this? There is no excuse for that build. It's not even obtainable. Like, this motherfucker has got horns. He's pale. He's a fucking giant. This guy has no midsection, no core. His feet attached directly to his ass. Something else to note though is that I was absolutely right when I said that nobody ever dies in One Piece, because they don't. The only people who actually died in this arc were 2 zombies, both of which were already technically dead. And this guy didn't really die. He just sort of caught fire and gave up. None of the villains died. The lion guy just got electrocuted and pulverized. He was fine. Dr. Hogback got stepped on and crushed to death. He was fine. Gecko Moria got the soul sucked out of him and put a bunch of shadows inside of himself and blew up like a balloon. He was fine. This bitch with the pink hair didn't technically die, but she just got sent to the back rooms.
モリアの居場所も聞き出せん。
The setting of this arc is really cool. I love the idea of a massive island being one ship, and technically this proves my old argument wrong that One Piece never has any fights on boats, but this doesn't really fucking count because it's an island, so fuck you. But like I said, I love how big it is, and I think that's a really cool idea, but it really went to waste. They didn't really do anything with the island. They just used it like every other environment ever, and then just kind of fought in this like city mansion area. I guess what I'm trying to say is that despite the fact that they had a really cool setting to do some really cool shit with, they just sort of fought in the middle and never really did anything. All in all, this arc wasn't awful, but it just wasn't good enough. The best parts of this arc took a back seat to everything else. Oars was just a fat fuck and tried to steal the show even though he was boring. That moment with Zoro and Kuma, That was cool as shit, but that lasted about 30 seconds. I am really excited to see where the story goes from here because One Piece is actually starting to look like the One Piece that the rest of the world is watching. And as always, this is all just bullshit, so don't ever take it that seriously. Sorry to that one guy in the last video that said he loved Thriller Bark. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.
We looked at the Japanese censored version of that. The nothing happened.
Oh my god! He shot themselves in the foot!